A man who's
You may recognize
behind
Darren
the camera
from such other live streams as...
the one last week. And
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we need to we need to eject the Madden disc, and we do have FIFA on a disc as well.
Sean is on it
I
over
asked
here.
Bob if he wanted to stay to watch actual football, but
Oh, stop
he
it!
said no.
He said he is interested in FIFA. He said he wants to watch you play. He
He sat with me last week and watched me play, and we actually had some of the same gripes about the two next-gen games, Madden and FIFA, like the same exact gripes. Most of it's character models, stuff like that. And we both agreed how much we love 2K and how
it
much
just looks better.
I think I'm going to the Halo hoodie.
Consistent theme with the sport game, so.
You can't resist any longer. Darren's pretty bundled up over here.
I am bundled up. It's raining outside.
He knows.
It's colder in here than it is outside.
You video guys keep this studio frigid.
All right, we're booting up FIFA 14 right here.
Yep.
Are you going to play your team again?
I am going to play as Chelsea. That is my team. So I immediately have made enemies by saying that, but hopefully I made a couple.
But
friends.
you also make friends when
Hopefully,
you say that too, right?
hopefully.
Soccer's like a blood sport. The fans will actually murder each other.
Yeah, and
It's like way worse than video game console fanboy wars. There's actual violence in the stands.
Sometimes out of the stands too.
That's right. Out on the streets.
Notice I said pitch,
Yeah.
not field. Right?
I see what you did there.
We gotta get the vernacular correct here, otherwise we get called out for it. But yeah, no, I like FIFA on the Xbox One. I haven't played as much of it as I wanted to before this, but I'm coming from the 360. That's where I play all my FIFA on, anyways.
Can you talk about some of the big differences between, or is this just a new different graphic, or is it just prettier
between the 360 and the one?
Current gen?
It's prettier, right? It's the same. It's the same differences between PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4, right? So you got the 3D dynamic crowds, you got the Ignite engine now, and you get better player animations. There's a lot more variety to the animations as well.
So they made a big deal about the Ignite engine at the Xbox One reveal.
They did.
I'm not feeling it.
Right?
I mean,
it's nothing spectacular to what I feel.
There's these 3 games that are using it right now, right?
There's sports stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if NHL next year is going to also run on it or what, but it's technically, from what we've seen in these 3 games, it is not super impressive as a piece of technology.
Now this is new. I've never played with the Kinect before, so I have no idea what.
I think we can just ignore it.
What commands it'll have me do. But what's the third game on Ignite? It's Madden, FIFA?
Was it Madden, FIFA, and NBA Live?
But is the UFC game going to be on Ignite also?
I think it is supposed to be, yes.
Yeah.
I think all of their sports games.
So it's a little easier, obviously, to judge the games I've been out before and compare them to now how Ignite affects them. But what I said last week with PlayStation, right, is just that my player just felt heavier. It felt like when you made a cut, you put more weight on that leg.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
FIFA. It's just a different thing.
Different thing.
Yeah, it's just a different thing. The one thing that both Bobby and I were talking about actually.
Let's jump into a game.
Oh, it's getting going here. Yeah. So the one thing Bobby and I were talking about last week is just how the EA games here don't seem to have the individuality as 2K14 does, right?
Right.
2K14, you got the guys doing jump shots. It looks like their jump shot. Whereas here, you kind of just have attributes, and speed attributes and shooting attributes, and that's it. And there's not much individuality to the players, right? Granted, there's a lot more players. There's thousands of soccer players in this game.
It is tough, though. I mean, we don't make video games. We play them, we evaluate them, we cover
judge them.
We judge, but somewhat in EA's defense, I would say that they're attempting to apply this Ignite engine to all these different sports and different sports games, whereas 2K, at least as of now, I think they call it Eco Motion engine, their new engine for NBA 2K14, is made for basketball. They're not making a baseball game with it. They're not making a soccer game with it. But still, does that matter to the guy paying $60 for the game? No, it doesn't. They see NBA 2K14 and they're like, "Oh my God, that looks amazing." And they see, some of these Ignite games and they're less than wowed by them.
So I'm gonna try and score a little more than I did last week. Just putting it out there.
Nobody scores in soccer.
I'm gonna try and
Can you play a full game in 20 minutes?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, these games go by pretty quick. They're about 15 minutes.
Now, what this game has going for it, and FIFA has for a while, right, Darren, is great animation. Right?
Absolutely, and that's actually improved a lot in the next gen. So that's one of the big differences. They've added a lot more animations to shots, to passes. One of the great things about it might be the Ignite engine is that when you make a pass now, it could be in the 360 model you would just receive the pass no matter which direction your player was facing, right? Like you could pass the ball and like his back would be to the ball.
Oh,
and
here it is. Here it is.
He'd still receive that pass, right? And that makes no sense.
Oh!
Ooh. And in this one, they actually square up to the ball and receive it, face first. So that's kind of nice, little realistic touch. They put their foot over the ball and roll it over the ball when they're trying to keep it away from defenders. They didn't do that in the 361. So there's little small animation details that don't really change the way you play.
There you go.
But yeah, it doesn't really change the way you play. It just looks pretty. I'm more excited. I said this last week also. I'm more excited to see next year's FIFA.
Yeah.
That's where I feel.
Well, but again, the point that I made earlier before you got here was that next year's PS4 and Xbox One sports games are going to be developed on a shorter cycle than usual.
Yep.
So it's possible we might not. I mean, I hope I'm wrong here, but just sort of taking a step back and looking at it, these guys aren't going to have a full development cycle. This is for all these sports games until the 2015. Yeah. The games that come out in 2015, which will probably be all called 2016.
Well, the one thing I was happy with, and maybe I might be wrong, I might see it next year, is that when the Xbox 360 came out, there was no FIFA game for a while.
Right, there was also no NHL. There's no NHL now.
Yeah, and they actually put out one of their FIFA Road to World Cup games, which was, actually the last iteration they did wasn't bad, but the 06 one was just horrendous. It was this dumbed down version of FIFA, and that was annoying, because it's like, if you're a soccer fan and you want to play FIFA, like you're stuck with that,
right.
on console for like almost the whole year. At least this time it's like, you get the full-fledged FIFA game. Oh, the Wii U came out with kind of a dumbed-down version of FIFA 14 last year. So it's nice that they do this, right? Like, I could see no other way, but...
Now, Noah, or Soviet Jive Turkey,
nice.
says, I heard that FIFA 14 from the start has been optimized for Xbox One. Is this clearly noticeable in terms of the new physics and mechanics?
I haven't noticed it.
I can't imagine. I mean, I think that's all just marketing stuff. Yeah. The same way that... No, I mean, it is. It's like, you look at... so NBA 2K14, some folks online were squawking about our review, saying, you couldn't have played the Xbox One version of NBA 2K14. It's only ever been shown on PlayStation 4. Well, that's because it's just a marketing partnership where Sony partners up with 2K so that to sort of try to make people consciously or subconsciously associate their game with that console, and EA has been doing that with their sports games with Xbox. They look and run exactly the same on both consoles.
Yeah, I see no difference. And like I said, I've actually spent a little bit more time with the PS3 one rather than this one, but...
You mean PS4?
Sorry, PS4. So I'm still trying to catch up on the next gen. But yeah, there's no difference, really. Maybe graphically, I don't know. That's a technical eye.
Well, you're a video guy. You're a visual person. You would see it.
What's funny is I'm too busy playing, though. That's the thing. It's you kind of just get wrapped up in it. You go, yep, this looks better.
Yeah.
Or no, it doesn't, and then you forget about it. So people have asked me, like, should I upgrade? If you want the prettier graphics, you want to see some new animations and stuff to kind of liven up the performance. You're a little tired, maybe of FIFA 14 already. Go for it. Otherwise,
that doesn't sound like it's worth $60 to me.
Well, no, I believe this is the one you can do the.
You can do the upgrade.
You can do the $10 upgrade.
Oh, well, in that case, so $10 sounds.
I mean, anytime it's $10, you might as well go for it, right?
Yeah.
So.
Now, Gene says, "OMG, Darren looks like the brain-searching killer from Dexter's last season."
That is the thank you, I guess.
I don't know. Is he a handsome killer? I don't know.
Thank you, Dan. Man, so many compliments. No, that's the first time I heard that one. I sometimes get Rick from Walking Dead a couple times.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see that.
I can see that.
Or whatever. I guess I could do that days.
You rocked an awesome Wolverine look for Halloween this year.
That's true.
Thank you. The chops.
The chops, the hair, the suit, and the whole thing.
But as you can see, this is very realistic to real football. It's no.
Yeah, I'm falling asleep. So I know it's funny that a lot of people. I'm just joking around with you, obviously, because a lot of people are always like, "Ryan, how can you like baseball? It's so boring." I'm like, "No, it's not."
It's the same thing with soccer, right? It's the nuances to the game.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you kind of learn to fall in love with. And actually, I'll say this. I mean, I don't think FIFA has much competition. I don't think PES is a big competitor of theirs, in my eyes at least, right?
Right.
No one really goes back and forth like, which one should I get? But it's a great ambassador to the game, honestly, to like bring people in and make them fans. I know a lot of people who play FIFA that could care less about any soccer league out there in the world.
Sure.
Like, they really don't care about the EPL, they don't care about La Liga, but they play this and they love it. They have a good time with it. So it's a great ambassador to the sport, which is good, at least in America. Who's that? Is that Dexter? Sean Finnegan, our producer, showing me a picture. I guess I can see that.
If
Not
you
bad,
shave,
yeah. If I shaved, I can see that. He's got the.
That's not him. That's not the right guy. There's another guy that he looks like.
I'm just glad the control room's not pulling up a screenshot of this and taking it. I'm happy to do that.
How do you know they're not?
I know, that's true.
Now, Ryan, Noel here has a very important question. Does the HD DVD player work on the Xbox One?
You're not the first person to ask that. I believe back during our Ask Microsoft Anything series, the answer is no. It does not work. If you've still got one, enjoy it.
What am I going to do with my copy of Peter Jackson's King Kong on HD DVD?
Put it with the King Kong game that came out on the Xbox 360.
What do you mean? The King Kong game was actually really good.
There's a few games that I've bought, right, where I go, I can't wait to buy it, and then I get my hands on it and I go, I was duped. That was one of them.
I disagree. I actually thought it was... it wasn't like an amazing game, but I thought it was a really good game. I finished it. I had a really good time with that. That was an almost launch game back in 2005. Came out in December, right after the 360 launch.
So it wasn't actually, it was in the launch window, right?
Correct.
It
was one of the first games to release after launch.
I hit some more shots here. It's entirely my fault.
Yeah, the two big December games I know of, for anyone that's already, as video gamers are wont to do, already looking ahead past the launch lineup. You don't even have your console yet.
We do that, yeah.
In December, you've got Halo Spartan Assault, the port of the tablet, Windows Phone game.
Yeah, that nobody played.
But now you'll get to play it with a real controller.
Yeah.
And then also out in December is Peggle 2.
That is true. Do we have that release date yet?
There is no date, but they have told us December. We just don't know when in December. And we also know that it's $12.
Yeah.
Which most of these digital games that we've been showing are 20.
And Peggle 2, we've played Peggle 2.
And it's so $12 worth.
It's awesome. It's really good.
I love it.
I think it was seeing me do this. See me do this. I'm raising my hand.
So what is Kinect trying to do right now?
What is it? Snap
it. That's snapping. Got you. See, I haven't played around with the snapping enough yet, which is... I was watching our walkthrough demo with Fran.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that...
We're having some issues.
I don't know if that sold me on the Xbox or not.
Yeah,
and I don't know if that's Fran or not. That's the thing.
Well, you saw that it liked me better.
He did. It liked you a lot better.
Now, to be fair, this is my console, but it should recognize him and his profile. And,
I had that with Destin, actually, too. Destin was playing around for a couple days ago, and I walked in, and I was giving commands, and it was working perfectly for him. Signed in as him. And then Destin, same commands, couldn't do it. So... I'm curious if it learns.
It's weird.
Does it learn your voice over time? Maybe is it like a tablet keyboard almost that it just gets better with the use? But
now, Darren Too Fast asks, how do you like the Xbox controller when playing FIFA?
I actually like it better than the PS4 one. If I'm going to compare it, I like it better than the PS4, mainly because it's the same reason why I prefer it in first-person shooters too. I just like the offset analog sticks.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just do.
It's a personal preference.
It's totally personal preference. But
some people like the side-by-side with the
It's very much like a shooter in the fact that you aim with the right analog stick, like when you're shooting and passing and stuff. So to me, it just feels right.
Come on, we need a touch goal.
Trying to get something in for you guys.
Keeping the tension up here.
Oh yeah, I put good pressure on.
Oh!
And I always go for the glory. I try to always go from outside the box.
Oh sure, why not?
It's no fun otherwise. But it's. I'm excited to actually get on and play some like 11v11 and just kind of see if the community kind of transfers over to the Xbox One also, because I know the Xbox 360 community is huge with FIFA, and
it may take some time.
Yeah,
they're just
that's actually a hesitation of mine, right? Is maybe not to make the upgrade yet, just because.
Oh!
This is embarrassing. And I chose Man U because my buddies are Man U fans, and I wanted to beat them and just rub it in later, but this ain't gonna be good.
Yeah, it just backfired on you big time.
any true football fan knows how agonizing it is to be a supporter of any team. Not as bad as Cleveland, though.
We can't all be athletes, but we can all be athletic supporters.
Steven Bannerman asks, does FIFA use the rumble triggers? on Xbox
I'm
One?
not feeling them right now, no. I mean, I've also been kind of zoning on the game, but yeah, I haven't felt them, so I don't think so, no. I don't know if I'd like that. Yeah, I don't know if I'd actually prefer that or not. Oh, that was a horrible pass.
Robin van Persie. Now it's with Wayne Rooney. Came in with the challenge.
So a lot of people are asking about these FIFA legends. What are they talking about?
So an Ultimate Team, and Next Gen actually, especially too, they have exclusive.
He's got to score.
They have exclusive legends that you could buy and download. So like Pele's in the game and a couple other guys. And that's actually on the Next Gen consoles. That's not on the current gen. So that might be another reason to buy.
There you go.
To me, it's not. I mean, like I said, this game isn't. They don't personalize the players enough to make it interesting to get a certain guy and play with a certain guy. Like it's all, their attributes and stuff like that, and that's pretty much it.
Nice.
Oh,
Great save.
The defender dealt with it.
So you guys are starting to appreciate the little things.
Was worried. Options available on the bench.
I'm a hardcore soccer fan now.
Glad I could convert you.
I'm in. Just point me to David Beckham.
Whatever
his team. Didn't he retire?
He's pretty much done. I will say this: if you go to an actual soccer match live, I would say actually the same thing about hockey too.
I don't think it's safe.
It's if you go to a real match live, you become a fan instantly. Like the atmosphere.
Hockey's that way.
Hockey's exactly the same way. It's tough to watch on TV.
Yeah, when you watch hockey in person, it's awesome.
Yeah. That's actually happened for me. I've been to a few Chelsea matches, and that's
Nice.
Off-topic question here, Ryan. What are the chances of a 1 versus 100 style game coming to Xbox One? That was a really interesting.
That ship has sailed, unfortunately.
I thought it was really interesting.
It was great. I'm proud to say I'm one of probably a relatively small number of people that have 12 out of 12 achievements in 1 versus 100. Yeah. I was there for every broadcast.
Yeah.
I love the concept. I love the execution. I thought it was just a great thing. I would get on with my real life friends. We would all chat up and party together in that. But I think the economics didn't work for Microsoft, because the dream would be, for me, a live Xbox Price is Right, where there's an there's the crowd, and then you get your gamer tag might get called, and you'd come down, and then you'd play like a video game version of Plinko or whatever. You'd do a pricing game. You'd spin the wheel. Like, I mean, a 1 versus 100 style live Price is Right on Xbox Live would be my dream.
What's the game with the little mountain climber?
Cliffhanger.
That's the one.
Yodeling.
And then to remind you to split your cuts.
There's the, Bob Barker, there was the hole-in-one game, the golf game. Where if you get all the pricing parts of it right, you'd get closer and closer. Bob would always take the practice putt and nail it. Awesome.
Aaron Goodson says, just wait, Cleveland will win a championship next year.
In which
What
sport?
sport?
He just says, he doesn't even...
I mean, hey, the Indians had a great season this year, which I was happy to see. Terry Francona, manager of the year. Cavs are certainly in rebuilding mode. The Browns are not doing super great.
Give the Cavs a couple of years. They'll be back.
Oh yeah, they're going to be in there.
I'm calling a return of LeBron too.
I hope so. I would love that if he came back. I mean, that would be sweet.
One thing I do like about FIFA, actually getting back to FIFA a little bit, is just that the replays. I didn't score a goal, so unfortunately you don't get to see any pretty ones. But you get to see them, like the replays they do after you score goals is TV quality. They really,
this is Ignite Engine, same thing. Like, how come NBA Live doesn't have nice replays like this?
I don't know. They've had more experience with this, right? And also, the one thing I said in the PS live stream last week, I'll say it again here, is the replays and the presentation, the TV style presentation, is dead on to what you will see when you're watching a match on ESPN. If you're not a soccer fan, watch the World Cup this coming year, and you'll see, wow, they do the same exact thing all the way down to like that slow motion reaction replay, the Exmo replay, right, of the goalie just in agony after his team was scored on. So
excellent.
But yeah,
good stuff.
Maybe one more question before we go. Dov asks, how are the injuries on FIFA? Have you seen any injuries?
Yeah, they kind of play him off. The only way you really recognize him is when the obviously your player slows down a little bit, but obviously the announcers call it out. They go like, oh, like, you know, he's hobbling around the pitch, blah blah blah. Like, what are they gonna do? I actually play my guys through him because it's so not noticeable sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you're playing with a good team and you got some great players, like you can kind of play through it. But yeah, there's definitely injuries. I actually wish they were a little more dramatic. And I do wish they added a little more.
Some blood on the field.
Well, no, a little more acting.
See an Achilles tendon
which
just
would
hanging down.
A little more acting would be very true to the sport, right?
That's
Like,
true. Those
thoughts
guys,
and
that's come over to the NBA now, where all the
Right.
European players just, you know, they fake.
Yep.
They take the phantom charges and
then they come over and they spray a little of that magic water on your ankle and you're good to go again. Like, oh, I'm good.
Better now.
So,
We're going to switch over to Need for Speed now.
cool. Thanks,
Cool.
guys.
Thanks for joining us, Darren.
Enjoy your
Appreciate it,
worries.
Darren.
Thank you very
We're
much.
going to bring Mitch Dyer back in here.
yeah, we have a disc version of that.
This is Need for Speed Rivals.